tonight we try to do a meatless Monday, and it's always an interesting experiment to figure out what we're gonna do. I came up with something to make tonight and I wanna share it with you. I'm using this Explore Cuisine Chickpea Fusilli pasta. Now, I'm not normally a fan of pasta because they are just really high in processed carbs and don't have a lot of protein, not a lot of iron. So when you are choosing pastas, there are so many legume-based pastas now that are higher in protein, that are higher in fiber, that are giving you the iron that you need. So I love these Explore Cuisine pastas. If you are in Bermuda, you can get them at Lindo's. Okay, so I just boiled up a box of these. One tip that I learned along my cooking journey is that the bigger the pot that you boil pasta in, the better. The more room it has to move around in the water, the better. It's less likely to stick together, so you want to use a big pot, okay? So use a big pot, even bigger than this one that I've got, and if you salt the water, it can help the pasta to not get too sticky as well. So you can salt the water, and I have tried to add a little bit of olive oil on after. I don't see that it makes a huge difference, but one thing that does work, especially for these legume-based pastas, is to rinse them in cold water as soon as you're finished cooking them. So I just boiled this batch, I drained it, I poured some cold water over it because I'm gonna reheat it in this pan. So now I'm turning this skillet on medium heat. What I'm gonna do is, with a tablespoon of olive oil, I'm gonna put it in this pan and I'm gonna saute some garlic, because garlic is just the best, right? Oh, maybe it's a little bit too high. See, there's always the chance that I do this live video and that the smoke alarm goes off, because I do that quite regularly, to be honest, and I don't want to put the fan on because it might be too loud. So I'm going to use my garlic press today, not grate my fingers off with the grater. I'm going to use my garlic press, throw a little bit of garlic in here. So that pasta only had to cook for about 11 minutes, guys. So this goes to show you how long I take with meal prep. So I'm going to put in some of the garlic. Now, one of the things that I love to put in with this pasta is some sun-dried tomatoes. So I got some organic sun-dried tomatoes, and you know what, I'm not gonna put them into the main dish because my kids told me that if I put them in, they won't eat it. So the trick here when you're cooking for a family is to appease everyone, right? So I'm gonna make the pasta first, take theirs out, and then after the fact, I'm gonna add in some sun-dried tomatoes. Okay, so literally all I'm gonna do is, with that tablespoon of olive oil that I put in here, I'm gonna take the pasta, the Chickpea Fusilli noodles, and I'm gonna put it in the pan. So I'm putting the pasta in here, and I'm also gonna put in some nutritional yeast, which has lots of good B vitamins in it. So since we are not using meat tonight, I'm gonna put in a little bit of nutritional yeast. So I'm gonna sprinkle it over top. It gives it a kind of a cheesy flavor, which is so good. It's a way to add cheese without adding real cheese, which is so good. And you know what, I'm gonna put a teeny bit more olive oil in here because my pan was a little hot, and I'm using cast iron, so it has soaked it all up, which is beautiful because that's the beauty of cast iron skillets, right? So I'm gonna put this in here, and then I'm gonna add in some cut little cherry tomatoes, and I'm gonna add in a handful of baby spinach and arugula. And my kids can pick it out if they don't want it, but they're gonna have to have veggies on the side should they not eat the veggies that go into this dish. So you don't want your pan to be so hot. Mine was a little bit hot to start there. So I'm gonna mix in the greens, and I'm just gonna let them kind of simmer down a little bit. And I also have some leftover, you should always use up your leftovers. I've got some leftover Muir Glen organic pasta sauce. This is one of my favorites. It's roasted garlic. Again, can you tell that I like garlic? Garlic is such a good anti-inflammatory, you guys. Garlic is amazing. Not only does it add so much flavor to your dishes, but from a health perspective, so good too. So we're adding in so much goodness here. This pasta that we're using is so much more nutrient dense than just a regular processed white pasta. Okay, so we've got that in. We've added in some greens, we've added in some garlic, we're adding in some nutritional yeast. I might put another little sprinkle of nutritional yeast in here, and I might also add some olives.